I think a great leader is somebody who realizes it's not about them, it's about the people that they're serving, that they're really other-directed rather than self-directed. Obama is a great leader. He can fire people up and get them to do what he wants. Micky Arison is a fantastic owner and a great leader, and we've always had a special relationship. What's important is that I do my job really well, that I build great products and that I'm a great leader. All those things matter independent of gender. But I do think there's a responsibility for me to support other women at Google. Followship is just as important as leadership. It's very important that you'll know if you're a great leader because you will have awesome followship, and the people behind you will take that burden of responsibility. To be a great leader, you firstly have to like people. If you don't like people, at the end of the day they will figure this out and you can't lead them too well. Galliani is a great leader but can't understand players. For Donald Trump, any opposition, either personal, ideological, or political is treason. Anyone who stands in his path betrays the great leader. Anyone who fails to take the knee is a traitor. The director can be a dictator, but it's not wise to be. You have to choose the days to be a dictator and the days to deal with diplomacy and democracy. Every great leader should know that, even a dictator. Tyrants get overthrown. In the city of Pyongyang, you don't have to look very far to see an image of the great leader, Kim Il-sung. They love the guy. He is responsible for the wonder that is North Korea. The sign of a great leader is knowing what you know and knowing what you don't know. I think Unai did a great job and was a great leader, and a fantastic coach. I think of Pope Gregory the Great. He wanted the cloister. He wanted to pray and study, and yet he was thrust into this administrative job, and he submitted to that. And in that submission, he became a great leader. You could say that the only person who is safe to lead is the person who is free to submit. I believe that only a well-read, well-aware individual can make a great leader and build a progressive nation. What I learned from Barack Obama the person is that you can be a great leader and a good person at the same time, and that the way to be the best kind of leader is to be decent to the people around you. Though there are lessons that can be learned about becoming a great leader, most exist inherently in the bellies of those who lead. Everybody's always asking me, what's it like playing with LeBron? It's really hard to describe. I'm pretty fortunate that I got him my first year. He's an awesome guy, a great leader. You're witnessing such greatness all the time and you try not to take it for granted because you see it so often, in practice or wherever. Former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice is a great leader, possesses the highest possible character, and also happens to be a Browns fan. I believe that if I don't take care of my family as a great leader and husband and father, I could have all kinds of accolades and awards and a big mantle up there or something with a bunch of statuettes. But if my children don't respect me, if I haven't been a good husband, then that's all a joke to me. At the end of the day, people will follow you or people will be energized by you if they buy into your vision or purpose. So the most important thing is to be true to yourself. That's why I would say to be a great leader, you, first and foremost, have to be a great human being, and sharing that purpose and sharing the values. It doesn't matter how tough you are. It doesn't matter how smart you are or what a great leader you are. None of that stuff matters if you can't put the ball where you have to put it. A leader who is self-aware enough to know that he or she is not adept at everything is one who has taken the first step toward being a great leader. Great leadership can be a difficult thing to pin down and understand. You know a great leader when you're working for one, but even they can have a hard time articulating what it is that makes their leadership so effective. I was writing a chapter of beautiful evidence on the subject of the sculptural pedestal, which led to my thinking about what's up on the pedestal, the great leader. A great leader also has the ability to make people an inch taller in his presence. Tell me a country that is doing well and has a great leader. You look at the nuclear weapons all over the place, and you look at things like ISIS, and every country seems to have a battle going on. You know, I think that President Obama is a person who has a great relationship with a number of people. Colin Powell does, too. I think Colin Powell is a fine American, a great leader, and sees things in President Obama that he agrees with. He's entitled to have his opinion. Leadership is hard to define and good leadership even harder. But if you can get people to follow you to the ends of the earth, you are a great leader. I would say a good leader brings results. A great leader writes a new story. It's different. Obviously a new story has to incorporate a lot of results. But a story is a chapter in the life of a company that people want to write and want to remember. Selma is a story about voice, the voice of a great leader, the voice of a community that triumphs despite turmoil, and the voice of a nation striving to grow into a better society. I hope the film reminds us that all voices are valuable and worthy of being heard. Wayne Downing is also a great leader, has served our nation very well, and I think it's great that he's coming back to join a very capable administration already of dealing with this problem, and it will just strengthen that team. Critics have called alien epic Avatar a version of Dances with Wolves because it's about a white guy going native and becoming a great leader. But Avatar is just the latest sci-fi rehash of an old white guilt fantasy. Rudy Giuliani was a great mayor and a great leader, but he has turned into an unmitigated, and now, it seems, unethical, disaster. A good leader is one who can tell another how to reach his or her potential. A great leader is one who can help another discover this potential for him or herself. Pamela Eales has been the most amazing leader. She's such a nurturing person, and that is what makes a woman such a great leader. She's nurturing but also gets stuff done. It's been 35 years since I left school. Almost 9 of them were in government, all the rest were in the private sector, and I've proven over time to be a great leader. In many companies, the person who talks the best usually gets the job. I got snowed by a few of those people over the years. I still think communication is important, but I don't think there's always a correlation between being a great communicator and other virtues that make for a great leader. There are many qualities that make a great leader, but having strong beliefs, being able to stick with them through popular and unpopular times, is the most important characteristic of a great leader. Phil Neville could be on the road to one day, maybe, becoming the England manager. I know him closely. He was a great captain, a great leader. He's had great experience. I would like to be known as a great leader, not as a great woman leader. Never, ever command respect. Always earn it. A leader steps into the arena, and a great leader should never ask anyone to do anything that they haven't done or they haven't experienced. 'Cause I was such a novice, and thank God that Sarah was as seasoned as she was, because she was really a great leader in that regard, in the sense that she would communicate really well with the crew. No force can conquer the service personnel and people who, in support of their great leader, have turned out in the struggle to defend their country with confidence in the validity of their cause and their own strength. This is a law and a truth taught by history. You've got to analyze and figure out where your deficits are and go to work on them, and then sometimes, it's how you respond that makes you a great leader or not. I said when I came into office that I don't want to be a great leader, I want to be a good Democrat. One of the most important jobs of a great leader is to attract great talent. I'm not a great manager, I try to be a great leader. And for me, that's been going through a process of not how to be a great CEO but how to be a great Evan, and that's really been the challenge. For many years, I've always been attached to what they call the Great American Songbook, and Kern was a great leader of that because he had the classical training of Europe. He impressed all the greatest composers, like Cole Porter and Gershwin. They couldn't believe he was writing the songs he was writing. Creating a billion-dollar company is hard, but being a truly great leader is even harder. Franklin Roosevelt was a great leader. He saw how to use the levers of power to affect change. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.